Well, let me see. Let me see. We're gonna do story time from my injury, or my one event of my life that's kind of eventful, I guess you could say. Okay. Story time, story time. Oops. Let's get this moving. So, story time for me, don't pay attention to the little thing, that's not the right music. But, when I was a kid, for some reason, I felt like you could use your ears for many different things. I was out in the playground and I was like, hey, I wonder what this pebble sounds like. So I stuck a pebble in my ear and I wanted to hear it, but I didn't hear anything. And so the pebble was stuck in my ear for class and I was like, I really want this pebble out my ear now. And it wasn't coming out. I just kept hitting my head, hitting it and hitting it. Wasn't coming out. And so I stuck a pencil in my ear in hopes that maybe I could pry it out in some way. But it wasn't happening. Apparently I had just stuck it in even deeper. And so I told the teacher and she was like, well, go to the nurse. So I went to the nurse didn't do anything. Just called my parents to let me know how dumb I was and that I stuck a pebble in my ear. So I went home and my parents tried to take the pebble out in some way and they couldn't. So we went to the local doctor, Dr. Asian man guy, Dr. T, that's his name, Dr. T. And his solution was to use pressurized water in my ear. And he did this thing with the pressurized water to hit me in my ear, but for some reason it was going past the rock but not moving it, and thus my ear started bleeding and I was in extreme pain. And then what happened after that is I cried a lot. I was a kid. And I kept telling him, no, it hurts a lot, stop, I don't want it, I don't want it. And the doctor was like, he shouldn't feel any pain. He should be fine. There's no reason for him to be pain. And my parents see like there's blood all in my ear, so they're like, screw that, we're going to the hospital. And so, no, he was like, screw that, and we're going home. And so we went home, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know what we're gonna do about it, but at least I'm not in pain anymore. And then we go to the hospital. Now at the hospital, I was still kind of scared. I didn't want to get hurt again. That hurt a lot. And we went to, I don't remember where we were, but I remember that they tried to get it out with like this weird suction cup thing, or like that they could stick in my ear. Now, I was in pain again. It was such a loud noise, and there was still more blood and everything. And I just remember like 7 adults like pinning me down because I didn't want it in my ear. I was yelling, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And so they couldn't get it out. Hours later, I am prepped up and I go into a surgery room. I'm wrapped up so that I don't move and like pinned down and like I can barely move. And so I was scared for my life again. But this time they numbed it with something in my ear, and this time they were able to get it out very easily. 1-2 step, and that's it. And that's the story of my injury. The biggest injury I've ever had. Doesn't compare to y'all's, but that's my injury. Thank you.